Today I want to focus not on the leatherwork aspect of things, but on the tool aspect of things, and show you 5 things that I've printed at home with the printer, which I think you could really use as well. The reason I wanted a 3D printer in the first place was because I wanted to emboss or deboss my logo onto leather, and I wanted to be able to print my own stamps. Not only are they incredibly cheap and easy to make, but obviously you'll now have the opportunity to print basically anything you can think of to stamp your leather, whether it's a brand, a logo, a fun design, or simply customize a client's piece with their name on it. I actually made a whole video just on this topic, so if you're curious about that, the link will be down there in the description of this video. Obviously, it does come with some small drawbacks, the main one being that this will not work well on thin leathers or soft chrome-tanned leathers. Also, you'll not be able to use it in a heated press, of course, as this is a 3D filament material, so no foil stamping at any point down the road with these stamps. However, once you've got the technique down, the only real limit to what you can print is your imagination, which actually brings me to my next topic. I see texture plates a lot like stamps, but just on steroids. They're more or less the same idea, but pushed to the maximum amount that your printer can actually produce. Printing these is just as easy as stamps, more or less. Once your leather is suitably cased, you can place it in the press overnight with the texture plate under pressure. This will leave your leather panel nicely patterned, just as you can see here. There are here as well some drawbacks about texture plates. While they do share the same issues as basic stamps for not really working on thin leathers or chrome-tanned leathers, they're also limited to the size of a printer. In my case, I have the Bambu Lab P1S, which means I'm theoretically limited to 256mm by 256mm, though you could stretch this infinitely if you were able to print your plates in a way that they could be stacked one next to the other. That being said, you'll then be limited by the size of your press. Most home presses will only accept about 25cm by 30, which means again that the bed on the P1S is just perfect for that. Again, I've put this into practice in a previous video where I made a wallet which had a texture that looked a lot like wood, like the natural grain of wood, and again the link is down there if you're curious. So while texture plates can give you insane results on a budget, do bear in mind that there are limits to what you can do here. If you've never spilled dye on a piece while working on it, well, spoiler alert, it's just a matter of time before you do. So why don't we make sure you don't ruin your work, since there is an easy fix to this just waiting for you. This is actually the very first leatherworking specific tool that I ever printed on a 3D printer. While browsing the tools available to print online, it was obvious to me straight away that these little tools would undeniably be a wonderful addition to my workbench. The first die holder I printed has a nice base with a lip to help keep your bottle stable and collect any possible spillages. It also comes with a wool dauber holder. Then I stumbled upon a remix of this that sort of included a dovetail tongue and groove addition, which enabled you to link as many of these as you wanted together. This means you'll not only have a great way of safely and neatly storing your dye bottles, but as you can see, it's practically impossible to knock them over. But look guys, let's be real. Whatever protections we put in place, we're still going to spill some dye on the leather at some point anyway, so hey. I have stopped worrying about why the US tried to measure the thickness of leather in ounces, and at this point I've just embraced the madness. Actually no, that's a lie, I've not embraced it at all, I still don't understand it, I still don't get it, and that's why I needed to print out this tool. This tool will probably become my best friend to understanding or just measuring the thickness of my leather. While I can comfortably use a caliper to see how thick leather is in the metric sense, which is useful since all hardware ever made measures the thickness of their parts in units of size and not weight, I can now also share this information in a completely unnecessary, insane way that only Americans will understand. So yeah, that's really cool, isn't it? I think. However, there is one tool that I want to show you that will not create any controversy, and it is this little radius tool. So if you're trying to figure out which penny or washer will work best, or even tin or pot or can or whatever will work best to give you the corner that you're looking for on your new wallet or your new bag, well actually this may be the one-stop shop tool that you need. As you can see, I went ahead and used 2 different color filaments to print both of these tools out, helping the numbering stand out and making it easier to read. They're cheap and simple to print in any color you want, especially an inexpensive PLA filament, and I just know that I'll be printing out more of these to give out to fellow crafters. So you've designed a small pattern of your own, and maybe you're fed up of printing it out on paper and tracing it out on paper. Maybe the cardstock you're using just gets bent over time. Maybe you want something physical, something hard, something long-lasting that you can use over and over again to make your products. Well, why not make a 3D version of your pattern? It's easy enough these days to create your own 3D model template and print it out at home as many times as you want. Meaning you could even sell physical copies if that's something you're into. This will allow you to always have a perfectly accurate template to work off and get identical results for every project. Are you making 40 identical card holders every day? Do you need a template that can take a beating and still work fine time after time? Do you need to have writing or information on your template? Well, that's when getting yourself a small 3D printer really becomes the perfect solution. As you can see, I've printed out my own templates and absolutely love how versatile and creative you can be with this process. I've kept the biggest and most exciting 3D project here for last, and yes, I actually went ahead and printed a full-size, fully working stitching pony for myself. One that clamps onto your workbench and, just has all the bells and whistles you could want at this point. But before showing you the results of this, I do have to tell you about the printer that was used for this, as well as the filament I selected for the print. The P1S, also from Bambu Lab, enabled me to scale the print up by 50%, giving me the option to print an extra large pony for my work. One benefit of this printer is that it is enclosed, ensuring that there are little to no temperature fluctuations during the print. Finally, and most importantly, one great thing about the P1S is that it just works. Connecting the printer and configuring it is really a breeze, and I absolutely love the automatic bed leveling it performs before each print. Swapping out the nozzle, while not as easy as on the A1 mini printer I tested previously, is still pretty straightforward. A stitching pony is a real mechanical piece that can have quite a lot of force pushed into the different parts, so I needed to be sure that it was built using a strong material, which is why I went with a glass fiber reinforced nylon filament. This filament is one of the toughest materials out there, and is quite probably complete overkill for this item. But I didn't want to cut any corners, and I was looking for an excuse to test out this filament, so I went ahead and printed it with Bambu Labs PA6 GF filament, which is the nylon with glass fiber reinforced filaments. And I used a hardened steel 0.6mm nozzle for the print, since the nylon with the glass fiber inside does require a bit of a bigger nozzle. As you can see, my stitching pony came out great, and all I needed to do was soften down a few corners of sandpaper to make it perfect. The nylon material, reinforced with the glass fiber, is ridiculously strong, and I'm pretty sure I'll be using this pony for years to come. That's it guys for my top 3D prints for Leatherwork. As usual, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching the video guys, I hope you've enjoyed, I hope you've learned something, and I hope to see you very soon for some more crafting.